more about security diplomacy with retired NYPD Chief of Department John Chell. Also with us, retired U.S. Navy Captain Brent Sadler, former Navy Pentagon staff and senior research fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Also with us, Alex Phillips. She is also a former member of the European Parliament and a journalist. So, Alex, let's start off with you. I'd like to get your reaction to the King's speech before Congress.
I thought it was brilliant, actually. I thought it was phenomenal. And I think what really marked it as separate to anything I've heard him say before, and very different to other similar visits he may have undertaken, is the mischief and the humor and the wit. You can actually feel a real sense of camaraderie between the two nations, but also both using the opportunity to make sort of veiled marked points to one another. So actually talking about things like 9/11 and saying, look, we were there for you. We were side by side. We triggered Article 3 in NATO, and we fought together during that period. And we're going to be there for you again. It's clearly something the government wanted, the government of the United Kingdom wanted to be emphasized. Now, I'd be the first one to put my hands up and say, look, the government of the United Kingdom has failed you badly. It's let you down. Sir Keir Starmer is not the prime minister that perhaps you deserve us to have and we deserve to have. But this is where these royal ambassadorial, if you will, visits really go a long way to healing those relations. And we're reminded, aren't we, that the inhabitant of number 10 changes on a regular basis. But what matters is the tie between our two nations. And that has been emphasized again and again and again. And actually, Donald Trump's strategy is paying off, because for the first time in quite a while, we've got a government who are being forced into saying we're going to have to invest more in defense. Although I do think geopolitically, their strategies might be quite different to those of America.
It almost seemed kind of like a bromance, right? They were even breaching British protocol by kind of hugging each other, kisses on the cheeks, joking around. It was quite nice to see. And Captain, you know, we talked about tightened security in Sarah's report all across New York, King Charles, Queen Camilla arriving under this intense multi-layered protection plan. So what do you think also about, you know, the security threats that are facing not only the President of the United States, but also the royals?
Well, I mean, the time in which this visit's coming is an important one for the special relationship across the Atlantic, which has been frayed repeatedly by bad policy choices and some less than above board performance and actions taken on the part of Ken Starmer, the Prime Minister in London. But it also comes at a time where the nation's at, you know, several conflicts. The most important one right now, the most notable, is the fight with Iran. And Iran has clearly got proxies and clearly has sleeper cells around the world that is threatened to activate. So certainly the threat is very real, if not directed at the king, certainly the threat, and we were reminded of this with the assassination attempt just over the weekend against President Trump himself. So the security is definitely warranted in this very challenging time right now.
So, Chief Chell, you know, this is a major undertaking for a mayor of New York City, but this is the same mayor who said that, you know, he didn't want to put in another 5,000 officers. He's not a really good friend of the police there. He wants to bring in social workers. Are they using social workers along the streets right now to keep everybody safe? I mean,
absolutely not. This is a mayor that, quite frankly, doesn't know much about public safety, nor does his staff. So he's got to rely on the NYPD. He's got to rely on our federal partners, and in this case, King Charles' security apparatus. Anytime you have this in New York City is always at a high alert. There's no more what level. We're always at top alert. End of story. When you add this into it, a dignitary like this, it's a heavy lift, and you can't be wrong. And now when you're moving throughout the city, it's a big, big lift. And I got caught in traffic trying to come here today, so I'm a victim of it. But that's what's going to be all day. But all joking aside, they can't be wrong. They got to be in full protect mode and make sure they keep the city safe and the dignitaries.
So real quick, when you hear a socialist talking about defunding of the police, taking away the counterterrorism task force and all these other necessary agencies, as a former chief of department, what goes through your mind?
Just a lack of understanding of what has to get done. We need police officers. Social workers have a special place, but not in the arena of law enforcement. It's foolish, it's misguided, and it's just part of that socialist ideology that does not work.